Well, guys, I just watched the Master Universe movie the other day, and it's time to finally share my thoughts on it. So, yeah, let's do that.
By the power of Grayskull!
Hey guys, it's me again. Once again, the evil Lord of Destruction. Justin's Creations. So, I watched the Master Universe movie the other day, and I gotta say, I, for the most part, I thought it was pretty cool. Right? There's a lot I did like about it. Right? Uh, the scene, they had a lot of cool scenes, a lot of fight scenes. Um, and it does well at world building. It introduces you to this world quite well. Um, yeah. Uh, Skeletor's design pretty good. I love the way the eyes are animated, and all that. Um, but here's one thing that I really, 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 really dislike about the movie, and it comes down to one simple factor, and that's comedy. It's the comedy, the jokes. They don't really hit, in my opinion. I think they just they just seem like just really unfunny jokes. In fact, I could even play some scenes giving some examples.
Yeah! Let's fish some bad guys! Give him head, Redman! I'm sorry. Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So yeah, I mean it's possible that people might find these funny, but to me it just kind of reminds me of some of that Thor: Love and Thunder type, problem. Basically, what made that movie so unbearable to watch. But uh, even though it has this pretty pretty bad comedy, it does have some other good parts. Uh, for example, I love the line from Man at Arms where he's like, when we fall, it's our chance to stand back up. It's a good way of making him a real general type character. Uh, you know, honestly, the first half of this movie probably won't sell you because it's just gonna be kind of a very slow plot, showing our characters just kind of do nothing. We see a drunk man at arms all the time. Because, by the way, really quite clever how they introduce Roboto. Um, Honestly, you could say they sort of gender swapped Roboto, but I don't know. It's up to you if you think robots have genders. But I mean, kind of, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I know it's they kind of have more of a female voice for this character, but at the end of the movie, completely looks like, basically looks like Roboto with the translucent, where you could see the gears. That was pretty awesome. Um, but anyway, back to what I was saying. Uh, I wasn't too sold on the main character He-Man at first. I was like, oh no, dude, he's almost like he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Which, I mean, to be honest, it's fair. He's not gonna be able to be too skilled at first. I guess he didn't really get all that much training. At least they made him where he finally really locked in. For the first half of the movie, he kind of just seemed like, uh, just some random dude. But then, when they locked in when you got half in, he really became the you know, righteous character that the champion, right? That he's supposed to be. Um, Skeletor, they made him a pretty threatening villain. Anyway, but you know, I gotta say, I did kind of like when, at first I wasn't sure why they showed him in um, his human resources outfit, his date night outfit, and his uh, you know, Jim Bro Skeletor outfit. I was like, well, I didn't understand that at the time, but it was because he he got into, Adam's head, so that makes sense. That makes sense. It was kind of cool how they included him in all those scenes, for what it's worth. I will say, like for the first time, I was like, "Where's Battle Cat?" Luckily, finally got him out. Except they didn't put the armor on until like the very end. Yeah. Um, I'll say this. Uh, they made it look like the best, like right at the end when they had all the accurate suits on. It makes me want to see a sequel. Um, really. Oh yeah, honestly, I can't believe they literally introduced Mossman for like a couple seconds and killed him off. Come on, this guy gets the short end of the stick every time he's in like shows. I mean, I remember what they did with him like in Revelation, and then they kind of cameoed him in Revolution, but like as a ghost. Seriously, man, like we need to have some love for Moss, man. Anyway, uh, but yeah, um, the one thing I wonder though is like they showed like at the beginning of the movie they showed Adam he came down to Earth right after the conflict that happened in Eternia. It makes me wonder though, like, cause he showed him falling into like a river, and he lost the sword, of course. Who raised Adam on Earth, or did he just like live by himself? They didn't really explain that part in the movie, so I don't know. That's left for suggesting. I don't know. Whatever. Um, yeah. His random roommate, he's like the random useless roommate character. I mean, there's really not much more I can say about him other than that. Honestly, Tila, she was pretty good. Um, it was almost disrespectful though the way she kept on like treating Man at Arms like an old man, which I mean I guess he was kind of a drunk for a long time. But seriously, um, yeah. Honestly, it was absolutely awesome when we actually got to see He-Man use his power. He was giving the uppercuts to Skeletor. He was really, you know, really putting in the iron. Which also makes me wonder. They showed Skeletor quote unquote dying, which I don't know if that's actually what it means. They can't just kill Skeletor off in the first film, but I don't know. Oh yeah, but speaking of killing people off, they killed the king off in the first film. I don't think that's not how the story usually is supposed to go. They did kill him off in Revolution though on Netflix, but that makes sense because it's kind of like a continuation. So that sort of makes sense. But in this movie, like he wouldn't have even been king that long. So that's I don't know if I'm a fan of that choice of killing him off already, but yeah. Um, Visually, the movie looks great with all these effects and all that. Um, I did really like the end credit scene where it showed She-Ra, right? I really still hope this film gets a sequel. If we do somehow get a sequel to this film, please tone it down on this comedy. I'm not saying a movie that shouldn't be kind of funny, but I'm also saying if your jokes aren't funny, then don't make them. Now, is some of the jokes funny? Maybe. You know, um, it's like I don't know. Like, I didn't really find the making fun of the character's name tactic that funny myself. Um, but I guess I thought that there was a few things that was clever. Anyway, um, yeah, I mean, the characters' design were still overall great. Uh, there is still a lot I do think was really good. Honestly, it feels like it's still trying to be the origin story of a larger trilogy. So maybe if we give it that chance to be the larger trilogy, they could do something pretty good with it. For this film, I do think that I'm gonna just say 7 out of 10. It's definitely not the perfect movie that I would hope for, because I still see flaws in it. But you know, it was still, for what's worth, a fun watch. I guess you could say, uh, I still enjoyed it. Like some others have said, I would say that this film will very much remind you of uh, perhaps Thor Ragnarok, maybe. I don't know, something like that. Um, I wouldn't quite compare it to Thor: Love and Thunder, but I guess you could say the jokes is kind of, you know, on that scale. Uh, yeah. Um, you know, I can say that this that Mattel's like this didn't do as well as something like the Barbie movie, which Mattel's movie on that one did a lot better. Which, uh, you know, I think probably that one probably did better because of the Oppenheimer thing. But anyway, point is, uh, I'd say this film's definitely still I would say it's still worth to watch it for you. Um, you know, I'd say so. But yeah, I mean, I'd say there's still a lot of aspects I enjoyed, but I do hope they, um, improve the, I don't know, the dialogue when it comes to comedy and all that a little bit better in the future. Make it a little less corny, maybe. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, 7 out of 10. It's could be considered a generous ranking to some. I actually don't know. It seems like most of the audience actually liked this movie. Critics gave it 62, right? On Rotten Tomato, I have to look it up. I'll put the image. Audience, what, like 82, 83, something like that. I don't remember. But point is, um, do I think it's going to get a sequel? Who knows? But it is number one movie on Prime right now, so maybe there's hope for it. Uh, is it the best movie of 26? By no means, no. In fact, I actually currently think the best movie of 26 is, from the ones I've seen, it's got to be Project Hail Mary. Um, but yeah, it's all about that. But anyway, hey, that's kind of all I have to say about this. Um, sorry, no uploads, but it's gonna be something that I just upload in between because I'm working on this stop motion. If you've seen a community post, you know what I'm talking about. It's going pretty good so far. But yeah. Anyway, um, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.